X and they singing no cookie eye, no cookie eye.
Who you voting? Tell me, who you voting?
What squad? No cookie eye, no cookie eye. Bring down.
Who you voting? Tell me, who you voting?
Instead of NDC walking to build the country, look how they fighting like dog and cat in their own party. Some NDC supporters say they can't take no more skinny.
On the other day, everybody singing one song.
What they singing?
The election coming, they know who they're voting for. You have a kind of chorus they were singing.
Let me hear.
If NDC win again, we cry it. If NDC win again, we ball it. If NDC win again, we cry it. If NDC win again, we ball it. I know.
Me partner Tilly meet me, I tell you he vex like hell. He says Spider Grenade and go vote back Dr. Mitchell. I said Tilly 5 years now you there, you don't have to vex. And Grenadian people are stupid, they know where to put the X and they singing no cookie eye, no cookie eye.
Who you voting? Tell me, who you voting?
What squad? No cookie eye, no cookie eye. Bring down.
Who you voting? Tell me, who you voting?
Instead of NDC walking to build the country, look how they fighting like dog and cat in their own party. Some NDC supporters say they can't take no more, and they make Tillman get so vexed. Tilly fire Joe and they singing no cookie eye, no cookie eye.
Who you voting? Tell me, who you voting?
What squad? No cookie eye, no cookie eye. Bring down.
Who you voting? Tell me, who you voting? If NDC win again, we cry it. If NDC win again, we ball it. If NDC win again, we cry it. Oh Lord. If NDC win again, we ball it. I know.
NDC say a wind of change was coming in the country. Some people was so sad, some was real happy. If you thought Ivan and Emily was the worst thing you see, they say NDC is the worst change to hit the country and they singing no cookie eye, no cookie eye.
Who you voting? Tell me, who you voting?
What squad? No cookie eye, no cookie eye. Lindan.
Who you voting? Tell me, who you voting?
Tilly afraid to call it the casino NMP go win. 5 years now they in power and they don't do nothing. Joe don't get ball out already, Uncle Bossing go win. Man, we fed up. Let the chorus come in.
We are the winning team. We are the winning team. We are the winning team. And we will deliver. We are the NMP. We will deliver. We are the NMP. We are the NMP. We will deliver. We are the NMP.
Grenada in Shida is our.
We will deliver.
Poverty rising by the hour. You don't see everybody sour.
What's the first?
That is why we bringing back Jonah.
How you
We
mean?
will deliver. We will deliver.
Everybody.
We will deliver. We will deliver.
You don't know.
People wanted change, so we give them change. Now it's big horrors. They wanted dollars.
Unemployment high, for people go slow. For this country growth, NDC must go. We are the NMP. We will deliver. We are the NMP. NMP will deliver. We are the NMP. We will deliver. We are the NMP. NMP will deliver.
Grenada in Shida is our.
We will deliver.
Poverty rising by the hour.
NMP will deliver.
You don't see everybody sour.
What's your face?
That is why we bringing back Jonah.
Every
We
time.
will deliver.
Smile
We
again.
will deliver. We will
Smile
deliver.
again.
We will deliver.
4 years no investment, can't see no betterment. Only promising, but nothing happening.
Well, how me country run is of great concern. Grenada fall down, so let Jonah return.
We are the NMP. We will deliver. We are the NMP. NMP will deliver. We are the NMP.
How you mean?
We will deliver. We are the NMP. NMP will deliver. We will
Want to see poverty rising by the hour.
NMP will deliver.
You don't see everybody sour.
We will deliver.
That is why we bringing back Jonah. We will deliver. We will deliver. We will deliver.
Not one seat for them.
NDC can come back at all.
Not one seat for them.
We want progress and no more scandal.
Not one seat for them.
Hear what I tell all you. When you vote in election day, let the progress continue.
Not one seat for them.
We cannot take that chance.
Not one
Voting is we insurance.
Not one seat for them.
We got to keep moving. So this election, when all you vote, let us bury Nazim. 5 years ago, we made.
And a good night to Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Once again, it is time for Talking Points. My name is Sheldon Scott, here with you up until the 10 o'clock hour. And of course, it's always wonderful to be here with you, saying a special good night to our listeners out there in Brooklyn via 94.9 We Noise Radio. Hope you guys are having a wonderful night. Also, our listeners via YouTube. Those of you joining us via the website, yeah, the Talking Points actually has a website, Talking Points GND. Yeah, we have a website. And also those of you joining us via Facebook. We say a special good night to the kids first because they've got to go to bed. So we say a special good night to you, Zayla. Special good night to you, Zoe. I know you're still excited after your birthday yesterday. All right, Zalia, good night to you, my dear. I saw mommy today, eh? Yeah, Zalia. Hope you're having a wonderful night tonight. Neela and Namara, I know that both of you are locked in. And of course, we say a special good night to you, Deshaun. Yeah, I see you today too, man. So I hope all of you are having a wonderful night tonight. And before we go anywhere, before we say anything, before we go any further, I had to listen. I had to say a very, very special happy birthday to Miss Talking Points herself. There's a lot of Miss Talking Points, but you know who I'm talking about. A special good night to you, Cammy. Yes, folks, today has been and still remains Cammy's birthday. So we say a very special happy birthday to Cammy. In fact, let me touch a little something for Cammy Day. Yeah, I'll touch a little something for Cammy, man. I can't treat Cammy like that. Nah.
Oh, God.
You all gonna have to bear with me. That's Cammy. I must get Cammy a tune, man.
You're not getting older, only getting better, only getting sweeter, and also much wiser. This is your day, this is your day, this is your day, this is your day. Like fine wine maturing, so pure, sure and sparkling. It's so reassuring to know someone so loving. This is your day, this is your day, this is your day, this is your day. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah, I can't sing, so that's how the people do it for me,
Happy birthday to you. Long life, sweet dreams, and no Jaja blessings. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. You have a nice day. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. May good things come your way. It's really a pleasure.
Folks, remember to like and share the program.
Compare.
And those of you on YouTube, remember, if you are not yet subscribed, you need to get subscribed.
This is your day.
So you need to hit the subscribe button.
This is your day. You're truly delightful and also insightful, amazing and funny. You're such great company. This is your day. This is your day. This is your day. This is your day. Happy birthday to you. May all your wishes come true, my darling. Happy birthday to you. Long life, sweet dreams, and God's blessings. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. You have a nice day. Happy birthday, happy birthday.
I wonder if she home tonight or she gone and make a lime. Next thing, Cammy going out to the restaurant tonight,
This is your day. This is your day. Happy birthday. This is your day. 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 This is
Yes, and folks, we got a lot to get into tonight, huh? And then remember, tomorrow it's a very important day, a very, very important day.
your kind. What a brilliant mind. This is your day. This is your day. This is your day. Happy birthday. This is your day. Never ever bitter. So cool under pressure. Just once in a lifetime. You meet
someone so divine. This is your day.
This is your day.
This is your day.
This is your day. This is your day.
Happy birthday to you. May all your wishes come true, my darling. Happy birthday to you. Long life, sweet dreams, and all your blessings.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Well, you know, I must play that, man. Let me take a call here. I have a feeling I know calling. No. Hello, good night.
Sharon, good night. I ain't going no restaurant at the end of it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that song. Good night to Grenada. Good night to everybody. I want to thank everybody that called me and wished me happy birthday. I was so happy today. Thank God for life. Yes, I they hope not choose not my clothes for Parliament tomorrow, busy lad.
Of course, of course.
I
of
choose
course.
not my clothes, what I'm wearing. So
That's
much
nice,
addresses,
you
I don't know which one to put on. Dr. Mitchell, good night. Yes.
For some
Yes,
reason,
I
I
want to
just
thank
know.
everybody. Patty, Mr. Watt, Miss Joanne Bain, Oswald, all my friends from New York, all is here today. I know you're listening. Good night, son. Yeah, everybody. Sharon, you know what? Make me nearly in tears today. Some of the school children, yeah, two little dread that living in Baltazar. I get the biggest hug and squeeze and tell me how much you love me. And some of the children brought me little pizza, little sandwich from the party they bring for me, you know. And that terminal day. I want to thank everybody from the bottom of my heart. And my son said, Mommy, take it easy today. And had a nice and quiet and blessed day. Thank you, Grenada. I love you all. Have a good day. I mean a good night. At the home,
Okay, well,
I'm
you're
looking for
relaxing.
shoes and dress.
Yes.
And I don't know what I'm putting on, but I'm looking for something nice.
Well, we know it's a Lasha outfit tomorrow. We know you
Yes,
already.
sir. Well, I have it. I have it. Patty, good night. I know you're listening. And Mr. Watts, I want to thank everybody for making my body so I feel good.
Of course.
I am 67 years of age. 67. Thank God for that. All right. Good
All
night.
right, Gabby.
I'm listening.
And thank you.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, darling.
Of course, I didn't know I'm here. I had to treat Cammy special. I didn't know how it go. Yes, indeed, folks. And just a reminder. Yeah, down to business. Right? 9 a.m. in the forenoon. In other words, 9 a.m. tomorrow, Parliament will convene and Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell will be delivering his response to the 2024 budget statement and estimates of revenue and expenditure. Yeah? If you want to understand economics, if you want to understand budgeting, if you want to understand what it is has been hidden from plain view, but not hidden from Dr. Mitchell. Yeah. If you want to understand what they have been speaking about and so on, and because I realize right now they've been making the wrongs. Imagine you have a budget presentation, your national budget presentation on Monday. So you've had your national budget presentation. Then after your national budget presentation, 2 days later, you're announcing another multi-million-dollar financial measure. Yeah? So 2 days after, you just find the time to come and announce that you're giving a 25% ex gratia payment, or some people say ex gratia, but ex gratia payment to all public servants. And you were at pains to explain that this payment will not be given to parliamentarians and they said government ministers. It will not be given to government ministers and pensioners. Well, pensioners, all you get Lasha again there. So the pensioners will not be receiving anything additional. And remember, pensioners are going into Christmas with half the amount of money they usually go with. No, you all didn't realize. Remember, the amount of money you're being paid has been split in two. And during discussions today, they did mention that even that 25% would be on the second payment that they're giving in December. In other words, that 25%, and we'll get to if it's really 25% in a while, that 25% is being given, after Christmas. Unless they're making the second payment before Christmas, which we highly doubt. So that second payment is going to be done after Christmas. And that's when people will see that 25%. They also explained it's on their base salary. So if you're working for X amount and you have different things, like you have different emoluments and you have like traveling allowance and that sort of thing, they are not basing the 25% on anything else except the base amount that you work with, your actual salary, not the other additional things. For instance, if you are a senior, because police, this covers you all as well. If you are a police officer now in an acting position and therefore you're receiving an acting allowance, your 25% is not going to be based on your acting allowance. It's also not going to be based on any of your allowances. It's going to be based on your base salary. So if you're an acting sergeant or you're acting superintendent or whatever it is, acting inspector, it's not going to take into consideration the rank that you're acting at. It's going to take into consideration only your base salary and not your acting allowance. And they also said today, in fact, I wonder if I can pull it up. They said today as well that the 25% will be taxed. The same way the nurses who have gotten the 500, it's being taxed. The doctors who are getting the 1,000, it's being taxed. The Imani, who are going to be getting that 25% as well, it is going to be taxed if it brings them to the taxable bracket. Because remember, you have some that are under Imani working in the private sector and they may be getting a little something in the private sector. Next thing that bring them over the threshold with the 500, whatever they might be getting, bring them over the threshold, and next thing you hear they have to pay tax to. But whoever it is, the 25% is taxable. This from people that took $2,000 for the whole year last year, well, from when they came in to the end of the year and up to now, that is not taxable. They made sure they get that every month and it's not taxable. But the payment that they're giving to you, one-off, you're not getting this 25% every month. The one-off that you're getting, they're taxing it. They couldn't say, well, okay, so they give it with one hand and they take it back with the other. So they can boast and say, we spent over $6 million to do this, to make this payment to public workers. But on the other end, they might be taking back $2 million out of that. So it's not really $6 million. In fact, it's not really 25% if you're being taxed on it, because a percentage of that has to go towards taxes. So the real amount that you're going to collect is going to be much less. But me and the mathematician or statistician, that is Dr. Mitchell, he go explain that properly to you all tomorrow, right? Nice. But bottom line is this. Them people wicked boy. Oh, they could do them people that. You give them with one hand and you're taking it back with the next one. Nah, man, that is magic tricks. That can't be economics. That is magic tricks, man. So I listened to the minister today, and one of the interesting things was how he was trying to excuse the fact that he is only just coming to say that after having the budget, near 48 hours after delivering the budget, he's coming to make that statement. And it said to me that this is nothing more than a response to how they have seen the public workers reacting to them since announcing that they are going to be getting the big lasha money. The government ministers, they are going to be getting their big lasha money. But while they're getting the big lasha money, the public workers were asking, well, we mind, because they walk into the they probably go into the ministry, and when they reach into the ministry, they realize people watching them cross-eye. They probably realize people watching them cross-eye and things. So they decide now, they say, well, okay, well, we can't take chance with that. Someday we had to give them something too. So they went into cabinet, and in fact, let's hear what the minister himself had to say. Yeah, let's see if we can pull up what the minister had to say. Okay, I'm touching the wrong one here. Yeah, let's see if we can pull up what the minister had to say. And after we pull up what the minister had to say, yeah, let me just make sure I have it queued properly. After we pull up what the minister had to say, then we are going to go into, yeah, let me hear what he had to say here, man. Come on, yeah, let's hear what he had to say now, minister. Yeah, let's hear what he had to say here. What the minister okay, let me just make sure if we can pull up what the minister had to say. Okay, and after we pull up, right, so let me just make sure that I clear that out here. Bam, bam, nice. Yeah, you know when you're using multiple machines, what does happen? Right, so let's get this cracking right now. Yeah, let's see what the minister had to say now.
Press Secretary Nila Etienne, and good morning to all Grenadians, home and abroad. My main purpose here today is to make two announcements. The first one is to basically inform the general public and all public servants that the cabinet has agreed to provide a 25% of your basic salary for the period January to December. Sorry, let me go back again. 25% of your basic salary, and that would be paid in December, the second bi-monthly section in December. Let me say that that decision was one that had to be unanimously approved by our cabinet, and we only got that done at our cabinet meeting yesterday. I would have liked to announce that situation earlier on, but without cabinet blessing, I could not have done it. So I would have liked to make that point at the budget presentation, but I was not able to do so because I did not have the blessings from my cabinet until yesterday. Having said that, I would also want to say that that benefit would be taxed. In other words, it is income tax applicable. In other words, nobody is going to expect to get 25% without having to pay tax on it. And that is throughout. The persons who will benefit from that payment would include all public servants, whether you're permanent, unestablished, Imanis, contract workers, contract services. In other words, the only persons who would not benefit from this payment are retirees or pensioners, and government ministers would not benefit from that payment. The second point I want to make is that we do not want to give the public servants or the general public the impression that we are Santa Claus in December. We know that many private sector businesses, as well as some statutory bodies or commissions or other state-owned enterprise, at the end of the year, they provide some type of bonus to their workers. Again, I believe that any bonus to be given to central government workers or even state-owned enterprise should be based on a well-done performance appraisal and have the ability to pay those payments. In other words, if you do not have audited financial statement or a statement that says that you have actually made profit, then I would say that it's not prudent to make such payments. So going forward, I want to let public servants know that this would not be an automatic payment. It would be based on, one, performance, yes, but also we'd have to look at the government's ability to pay. In other words, if the government does not have the same level of revenue going forward, there is no way we can pay you ex gratia payment at the end of the year. I also want to reiterate that we are concerned that the level of productivity in the public service and throughout Grenada needs to be improved. We want to see people coming to work on a timely basis and be able to perform their duties at a higher level. Sometimes we have too many complaints about people's attitude, people's way of conducting business. It doesn't reflect well sometimes on the government and to the people that we serve here in Grenada. So I'm making an appeal to all our workers, whether you are in the central government, statutory bodies, and state-owned enterprise. We want you to basically up your game and make sure you provide the state of Grenada with value for money for the services that you are rendering out there. A smile when your customers come to you go a long way. Talking to them nicely goes a long way. When you come to work and you bring your problems from home to the workplace, it doesn't help that situation. So we are therefore asking people to up the game and be more productive. I'll end here for the moment.
Thank you, Minister.
All right, folks. So I decided to let you hear the entire presentation by Minister Cornwall. Reason being, there's a lot in that presentation, and hearing it from me is one thing. Hearing it from him, that's a totally different something. Now, he said that he would have liked to make that announcement on Monday during the budget, but that cabinet had to give the approval first. This is the same cabinet that met last week, that met the week before that most likely met the week before that, and the week before that, and the week before that. So it tells you that between the budget presentation and when that cabinet meeting was held, something forced them to the position that they decided to give that ex gratia payment that they're giving. Something forced them to that position. It is not a position that they willingly accepted, or it would have been in the budget statement, or it would have been catered for within the budget, the estimates of revenue and expenditure itself, which it is not. Yeah, it is not catered for. It is not mentioned in any document. My personal belief, I believe that these individuals have been forced into this position. They've heard the members of the Royal Grenada Police Force and what they've been saying. Because the policemen and them are making joke out there, they say, listen, me ain't going and stand up in no hot sun and march. Me ain't going and march because these people don't like people. They make sure they get the money for themselves. You heard the minister speaking about the increases or the ex gratia payments and bonuses, etc., are going to be based on performance. What performance does he and the other ministers that have gotten a significant increase last year, after less than 2 months in office, they got a significant increase and have gotten another increase now? What significant? What have they done significantly that he can say, well, okay, using us as an example, we've been able to achieve A, B, C, D, E. We've been able to achieve these things, and as such, we deserve an increase. Right now, I would have been cutting their salary, not adding to it. Seriously, really and truly, I would have been cutting, not adding to their salary right now, considering the nonsense that these individuals have been doing. Yeah? And I always mention when it's speaking about the Minister of Health, what has he been doing that he deserves an increase? What is the excellent job that he's... All you're talking about the public servants. You're all talking about the people that working and running the ministries there, because you all really know things are happening again in spite of and not because of these ministers. And yes, we understand that within the public service of Grenada, there are issues when it comes to things like punctuality, regularity, attitude to work, attitude to the general public. We know. But those are the exceptions and not the rule. By and large, the people within our public service are hard-working people. So you want to tie your ability to perform your job properly to receiving additional money at the end of the year as a bonus or ex gratia payment and so on. That should be applied to you and your crew as well. Yeah? In the same way you're telling police officers and them now that in order to get a little something extra at the end of the year, it's going to be based on a performance appraisal. And folks, let me just let you all know, there is an existing and has been for quite a long time existing performance appraisals within the public service of Grenada. Eh? This is nothing new that they're just bringing in. But they just want to base now whether you get a bonus at the end of the year on that. Yeah? So that's what they're saying they want to do. Meanwhile, they ain't looking for no performance appraisal at themselves, because if they honestly had a performance appraisal of the present cabinet of Grenada, each of them would have get a demotion in the amount of money that they're receiving on a monthly basis and not an increase. Yeah? But then remember, we had the Prime Minister. What the Prime Minister did say in relation when NNP was given increases and things. What the Prime Minister did say when NNP did give bonus? Let me see if we could remember what the Prime Minister did say then.
And how do we reward the police officers? Merely by a token 1 month's pay? Merely by a token 1 month's pay when the government is fully aware that the pay scale for police officers have not been adjusted since 1995. Let me repeat that. The pay scale for police officers has not been adjusted.
So there he is speaking about when the New National Party in 2021 gave a payment to all of the hard-working police officers, the doctors and nurses who had to face people with COVID. They were working within the health sector. They were going out into communities and doing vaccination and education and so on. Yeah? So the people who were working within the health sector, as we call them, or first responders or frontline people, when we were dealing with COVID, they were given a full month's salary, not 25% of your base salary. They were given 1 month's full salary together with the salary. Other categories were given, I believe it was a half month that teachers and the others got. But the police and the healthcare professionals, they were given a double salary basically. So we had the Prime Minister saying if that is tokenism. That is what you call it, You call it a tokenism. In other words, you just do that to say you do it. Let me hear him again there.
And how do we reward the police officers?
He said that you rob the police officers, Yeah, he said you rob them by giving them 1 month's salary. The same man who just give them 25% of the base salary, yeah? Right, the same man who just do that.
And how do we reward the police officers? Merely by a token 1 month's pay?
All you hear that, right? So how do you rob the police officers by a mere token? No, see the face. No, you see that saying it. Right? Let me hear him again.
And how do we reward the police officers? Merely by a token 1 month's pay?
Yeah, says the person who only give them 25% of the base salary and drop a tax on it too. So let me hear him again. I want to make sure it's that he's saying, police officers, all police stations, yeah, calling all cars. I hope you all locked in. All right, yeah, let me hear him again there.
And how do we reward the police officers? Merely by a token 1 month's pay?
So if that is tokenism, why is giving them 25% and then after giving them the 25%, cost them and tell them basically, we ain't Santa Claus, Ole might not get that next year. It had to be based on performance appraisal. Yeah? So if your supervisor ain't like you better get your supervisor to like you because your performance appraisal might come back in a kind of form. Because we're in a small place, we know how the thing does go. Let me hear it one more time.
And how do we reward the police officers? Merely by a token 1 month's pay?
How do you rob the police officers? Merely by a token 1 month's pay. Now me say it, you hear the now Prime Minister when he was just the leader of the National Democratic Congress, he was saying a lot of things then. He was saying a lot of things back then. But that is what he had to say in relation to the money that police officers and nurses and doctors and so on got back in 2021. Now in 2023, the same individual only give them 25% and then tax the 25% that they give them. Yeah? And note, if your salary is at the scale that 25% bring you up to the level that you have to pay personal income tax, you know they're coming for you. Remember what happened to some of the nurses in January when they got that $500 honorarium. It qualified them for tax, to pay personal income tax. Yeah, they crossed the threshold, and as such, they became qualified and had to be paying personal income tax on a monthly basis since then, because they did not make that $500 non-taxable. The people going to spend the money here anyway. They're going to spend that $500 in the supermarket. They're going to spend it in the pharmacy. They're going to buy some fish from the fisherman down by the bay or in town. Yeah? It's here. They go buy some eggs from the eggman. Right? They're going to spend it here. They go in the market and buy some fruits and vegetables. Yet still government, they want it to go through that process. They want it directly back to the treasury. So they give it with one hand and they take it back with the other one through magic tricks. Yeah? So right now, the same man who made the statement that you basically, yeah, let me hear him.
And how do we reward the police officers? Merely by a token 1 month's pay?
Yeah, a token 1 month's pay. Says the man who give them 25%. No, Papa, all you good in this place. 440-7377. Let's open the phone lines. And to Albert out there in Beaton, a happy birthday to you as well. I know it's your birthday today as well, my friend. Hope you're having a wonderful day today. Albert out there, not Beaton, Laughem. Yeah, let me put it proper. Albert out there in Laughem. All right, 440-7377. That's 440-7377. And also, there seems to be some misunderstanding by some of the civil servants out there, public servants out there, that the 25% is on your entire salary for the year 2023. So it's going to be what some of them are thinking. I'm not saying this is what it is. Some of them are thinking it's a cumulative of your January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, that it's going to add your base salary together for the year and be 25% of that. Sorry to announce, that is not the case. It's going to be 25% a 1 month salary that they're going to add to the half month salary that you're going to get at the end of December. Yeah? And then on top of that, they tell all you, watch all yourself, because you're coming and see all kind of thing. Yeah, they tell all you, they make sure and tell it. In fact, Miss Britton, you explained it. Let me hear if Miss Britton explained it.
5% of your monthly salary. It's the
Bring your problems from home to the workplace. It doesn't.
Let's see if we could cue it up proper, man. Let me see if we could get Miss Britton the Deputy Permanent Secretary in the ministry. Let's hear if what she had to say. Let me hear what she had to say, because many people were out there jumping up because they think it's 25% of the cumulative for the year. In other words, if the cumulative for the year, let's say, is 50,000, they think it's going to be 25% of that. Sorry, no, it's 25% of your base salary, not your full thing with your traveling allowance and your this and your... No, it's just your base salary, what your actual salary is before you start adding on everything else. Just your base salary, 25, well, not even fully 25% because it's taxed, so they have to take out that percentage of it as well. But let's hear what Ms. Britton had to say.
Permanent Secretary, Ms. Siobhan Britton, and I'm not sure if you have anything to add to the Minister's presentation. Thank you, and good morning, everyone. Minister did a pretty good job at explaining everything. I just wanted to clarify that it's 25% of your monthly salary. It's the token that government is giving, and 25% of your basic salary. So it doesn't include any acting allowance or traveling allowance or anything like that. It's your basic monthly salary. That's the only clarification I needed to add. Okay.
Yeah, so let's see, I ain't crazy. It's 25% of your monthly salary. But Miss Britton, you call the man thing a token? You can't call the people thing a token, Miss Britton. How you could do that?
Minister did a pretty good job at explaining everything. I just wanted to clarify that it's 25% of your monthly salary. It's the token that government is giving. And
the token that government is giving, remember, that is what the Prime Minister was calling other people thing, the token, yeah?
25% of your monthly salary. It's the token that government is giving, and 25% of your basic salary. So it doesn't include any acting allowance or traveling allowance or anything like that. It's your basic monthly salary. That's the only clarification I needed to add.
Thank you very much for clarifying that and clearing that up, Ms. Britton. We wanted to know for sure exactly, because some people were getting the thing wrong. Some people had the idea that what they was going and get was at 25% of the cumulative for the year, so they might have been walking home with a couple thousand. That ain't happening. We have a call online. Good night. Hello, good night.
Hello, good night, Sheldon. Good night, Talking Points.
All right, go right ahead, bro. You're online.
Yeah, brother. Listening to the press conference today, I didn't really get all fully because in and out. And I would like to advise the government, when they're having these press conference, please have it on the radio so people can at least listen like with a radio instead of having to go online, like to, like be in front of a computer or phone. But Sheldon, did you say that Ms. Britton is a Deputy Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Finance?
Yes, she is. She's the Deputy Permanent Secretary within the ministry.
Right. So where is the Permanent Secretary, Mr. Mike Sylvester?
Mr. Sylvester had another engagement earlier. I'm not defending him. I'm just telling you what the facts are. He had another engagement earlier in the day. In fact, he was on GBN to the point this morning.
Yeah.
So different people. It's not necessary for him to be at everything too. So she could have represented there, and he represented at the other location.
Yeah, I understand that, but coincidentally, that is that. But lo and behold, that after the finance minister gave his budget, he came. Just what you're saying, right, lady? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have 2 words for what the NDC administration are in this present construct of this government. They are deceptively dangerous. Remember these 2 words. Deceptively dangerous, because what they are doing, a lot of people got caught because they feel this announcement with this 25% would have been all the whole Hail Mary of giving back money and paying public workers and paying everybody. But when you go down to the meat of the matter and you listen to what was being said, it is very shameful that the Deputy Permanent Secretary have to correct the Minister of Finance because he made a lot of errors in his pronouncement today in that press conference.
Anthony, let me be fair to him. I like to try and be fair to people. When he made the statement of January to December, he stopped and attempted to correct himself, but he didn't complete the process. That's why Ms. Britton had to step in and try and correct her. He did try. He did realize, hey, I make an error already. And he stopped her. No. I ain't going to attack the man on something that he tried to correct. Yeah,
I understand. But what I'm saying is that shows that I don't have that level of comprehension of them, and I would not give him that. I'm not giving him that because he's incompetent, right? Lastly, the Prime Minister has a picture going out on GIS and on his official page with him with some whatever I call illegal substance, illegal herb or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to me, listening to other programs, I wasn't thinking that far ahead of that because I say, okay, well, he trying to promote something like what he trying to. That was on the agenda. They promoting that for whenever next year or there are 5 years to do what they do, legalize and criminalize and expunge criminal matters, whatever. But what I see there, like I said, being very deceptively and dangerous with that, because some people who don't understand what that guy did there will get themselves tied up in problems. Because I remember the cricket. I was at the cricket when there were some guys with certain trees and things like that, and there was a problem, right? And at least, I didn't think they get arrested, but they were told, so and so, and it was confiscated. Mm-hmm. But on a daily basis, you will see vans with trees and plants uprooted from people's yard and people are arrested and charged, right? Now, if that person go against the law of the state and do that, they will be arrested and, but the Prime Minister is the Minister of National Security. What example is he setting? That is a dangerous precedent. And lastly, Sheldon, I know you might go into that tonight, but the AG, finally she come out. Finally, the Attorney General come out. Minister Claudette Joseph. She was asked a question today about the Samora agreement, and not Samora, as some people have it on their social media page. Not Samora, it's Samoa, right? They turn big this and big that. That answer this lady gave there is another attempt at being very deceptive. People listen to what is going on because they're trying to put this thing on NNP, right? NNP didn't sign nothing. You have a foreign minister that is blatantly come out and say the blame is on him and time difference and he almost choke and whatever God did, whatever divine moment happened there, it happened for a reason. That is to show them stop lying to the nation, and I hope more events like that happen when all the ministers lying to the country or lie to the nation. They have a nice little divine intervention like what happened to Minister Anders Sunday. Good night, Talking Points. Have a good night. Oh, Biscami, Happy birthday. I might pass away tomorrow or Friday. Inshallah, we go talk.
All right, bro. Thanks. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. It's now 8:47. Yes, you can call 440-7377 and 347-329-3101. That's for those of you in North America. Let me say it again. 347-329-3101. Next thing I'll go say, I choking too. Nah, it's not choke, I choking too. Is the cold was trying to catch me and I get rid of it. So that the remnants that going now. All right. 440-7377. That's the number for you to get on to the inside. Let me lock that call into the WhatsApp. And yes, I should have that caller online. Hello, good night.
Sharon Scott.
Hi, good night.
Sharon Scott.
Yes, sir.
What I see today, I don't like that. Sharon, them police and them is 0%. And then nurses
hold on. When you say the police are 0%, you're referring to what? What are you referring to?
With all the money they say them, the nurses increase them the salary.
No, I think we've just explained that there was a press conference today. Police officers will be receiving 25%, not 0, 25% on their base salary. And that only happened because they started talking and saying they're not going to take part in independence, etc., etc. But we don't want people to leave with the impression here that we're trying to spread something that is false. The police are not going to, they were up to, something is very loud in the background, bro. Something is very loud in the background. You need to move away from it because it's,
hold on,
yeah, you need to move away from it. I just want to make sure that we don't put out any information here that is not true.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
right.
remove it, I take it off.
Yeah, you're supposed to take it off. Right, nice. So, up to this morning, before the minister made that announcement, police was getting 0, as well as other public servants. After he's made it, now they are getting 25% of their base salary, 1 month salary. Yes, so they're getting 25% of the base amount and 1 month salary. That's what we've been explaining for the last half hour. Maybe you just joined the program, because if you just joined the program, then yeah, I would understand. So I'll understand.
This is the next point again. This is my next point. Why the government are getting paid? They pay high up now. Why they putting back the 150? What they take out by CBI money? Why they put it back?
Hold on. You've got me totally confused now. I have no idea what you're speaking about.
No, the money what they take out from the people who get the 450 and 350. Why they put back the 150? What they take out?
Okay, let me stop you right there. They have now returned the 150 with an additional 50. So now they've actually put back that money. Have you been listening to the program for the last 2 days?
Your program?
Yeah.
No, I know.
Okay, well, I could understand why you might be making some of those statements, because on the budget presentation, it was announced that the seed, they are returning it, but they are only returning it to certain categories of people. Therefore, they're only returning it to people who are 65 and over, disabled, or mentally challenged. They're not giving it back to school children and so on, who are the vast majority of people under the program, or people under the age of 65 who may be over the age of 60, who have medication and so to buy. They're not catering for them. They're just catering for people over 65, disabled, or those who are mentally challenged. That's the categories that they're catering for. So they have returned it, but not for the majority.
I get an answer again. Say from January, gross price will be raised. That true?
Nothing that has been said anywhere that I've been listening has said that. That I don't know where I don't know where you get that one from.
I hear them bus drivers are talking about it today on the bus.
There's a process. There's a process for that.
Price will be raised.
There's a process for that. And as far as I know, that process has not been completed. So I know that there is a process that has to be gone through together with the Ministry of Transport before there can be a change in bus price, along with the various bus associations. So let's just be clear. You know, I don't want people to leave this program to go and say that we lying here. So when you come with it and it's wrong, I'm going to tell you straight up one time it's wrong. Yeah, not defending the government or anything, but I'm saying what is wrong is wrong. Yeah,
it's wrong.
Nice. Yeah, I wouldn't just leave it out there.
I'll be joining the funeral too.
Okay, great. Yeah, well, I'll see you up there.
Okay.
Okay, bro.
Are you up in Riverside again?
Yeah, it's in Riverside. Yeah.
Okay, I'll be joining the funeral tomorrow.
Great, no problem, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, Ms. Kami, good night.
All right. Yes, indeed. You all know me by now. Yeah, it's not. We ain't started this thing just the other day. You all know me by now. If it's wrong, I'm gonna say straight up that it is wrong. So yes, they have returned the 200, but we did explain before, and we did have Miss Leonora George. Good night to you. Miss Leonora George did call us last night and did explain that the vast majority of people under the program, they are actually not going to be benefiting from this measure, but very small numbers of people who are under the program are the ones who will be benefiting from the measure. We've got a caller online. Good night.
Good night, Sheldon Scott.
Good night, sir. How are you?
How you doing, man?
I'm
you think
quite
it's not
fine.
trying to get you, man?
I know. I see the line has been ringing.
I don't know the problem, but you know.
No.
Sheldon,
yes.
Sheldon, I can't understand this token thing. Because it don't make any sense. You decide to give 25%, and yet you're talking about how you have to perform properly. Huh? Did they perform properly when they take the 7,000? The 7,000. Did they perform properly when they take the 2,000?
I would like to see
and
their
now
performance.
They want 5,000. Did they perform properly?
I would love to see their performance assessment.
No?
I would
Did they perform
see
properly? I'm talking about watch these people and look at it. People jump. Even man, they give me talk at my workplace today. Boy, we getting 25%. I say, well, I feel good if I don't get that 25%. Not knowing tonight, I hear they talking about now, they be taxing it, all kind of thing. Why they didn't tax the $2,000? When they was getting the $2,000, why they didn't tax it for the traveling allowance? Why they didn't tax that? Boy, these people and them has no good for this country. And if people in Grenada can see, they are blind. These people and them come to just exploit people. I was talking to a partner a while ago, and I say, boss, this is the motive. Because this is going on the people's salary. And when you put it on the salary, what eventually happens? You say you have to pay tax. Huh? In other words, you're taking more money from the people because based on your salary, they know you're taking more money for the tax. So what's the I don't understand. And the man give me so much confidence, but we're getting 25,000. I'm getting 25%. I say, well, I feel good. I say, boy, I'm not going to believe that until I hear it. When I hear it, when I saw you play a press conference tonight, I was shocked. I would say, well, what's going on with these people? That can be 25% if they have to pay tax.
And remember, in the cases of people who are at a pay that is just under the threshold for income tax, when they are paid that 25%, it's going to bring them above the level.
Well,
so
right.
they are going to end up having to pay personal income tax.
And somebody might have their mortgage to pay, somebody have their other bills to pay. How they meeting that demand? How they meeting that demand? Another thing again, I listened to Mr. Pierre today on his station, on the same Real FM. And every man that calling from, every day, first I hear him, 9 years kid Michelle walk, and he don't do nothing for Grenada. But I tell this man, I don't know if he living in Grenada. I don't believe he living in Grenada. As the lady said today, he had to become from some farm country. I ain't this guy. Just call and talk.
But I tend to let the nonsense remain with the drop it.
Taking the money and travel abroad.
But
money abroad.
My friend, what I say is this. I tend to leave their nonsense wherever they went and they drop it. If a different host allows them to say what they want to say there, I would leave it there. Unless I think there's a need to respond to it. Because without me having even listened to the program today, I could pretty much tell you who the individual is just by the statement that you say they made. And you remember they attempted to call this program a couple of weeks ago, and that was the first and last?
Yeah, wait and call back.
They tried.
Because anytime you call, I counteract him what he's saying because he ain't listening.
But we're not counteracting.
They say a good listener is a good learner.
I'm
But
not
you're
tolerant
listening.
of I'm not
You
tolerant of nonsense, So when they call, they'll
Yes,
have to
I
go on
believe if
time.
somebody may be feeding me some information outside there, and he doesn't receive the information properly. As he gets it, he go with it. But you don't listen to what Mr. Pierre saying. NNP has done a lot for this country. And I could give him what NNP has done. Road, bridges, they build ministerial complex. We build right now, where they going tomorrow, who build it? NDC build it? We that build it. The Parliament building, where they going tomorrow? Where Dr. Mitchell is going to put out his belt tomorrow. And I'll be watching him night and day. Because I go watch him in the morning and I watch him when I come home. Because I might get everything much when I do the work. Although they go put it on TV. But I will want to see when I come home as well. Because I know Dr. Mitchell is the father of this place. And he's capable. Dr. Mitchell, I wish you all the best. May God bless you and strengthen you. Dr. Modest and all the other members of in the Parliament tomorrow, Ms. Emily P. and all the others. Continue to do all the good work you all is doing. And continue to expose them. Understand? Let them know, let Grenadians know who they are. These people and them don't care about Grenada. These people care about themselves. Imagine you go and just sign a document, and then you come and you lie for Grenadian. You tell Grenadian you did not sign the document, and later on they found out you that signed the document. It's and trying to be an habit, exposing himself, exposing them to say them not do it. But let me tell you something. And if we are called Christian, we church people who are living in this country, and we're not going to rise up against these men for what they are doing. Something's wrong. I hear no pastor speak out. None of them. My pastor, we go Sunday into church, and my pastor say, well, look, he understands that he can sign the document. That's what he's saying. But I'm against that. God is against that, and I'm against it. God destroy a whole city for this thing. And enough is enough with these people and them. It's either they move out of this place, because God will stand for that, God go get vexed and go deal with us drastically. God is getting vexed. And for a man to go and sign this thing as a prime minister who knows the truth, look at him holding up a marijuana plant in his hand. What example you set in for this country, for young people? This government, I don't understand this government. I could never understand this government. That is why I said I have to kick up against that man. They still demonstrating. I watch a few things today. They still demonstrating. They're against this man for his attitude and his conduct. He's not setting up a good precedent for people in this country. This man could never be a prime minister. He's a baby. Some baby they're not in a cradle and they're doing shipping. That's who that man is, a baby.
All I'm saying, in relation to that particular issue, I'll continue to say, for those of us that are parents, the Prime Minister has put us in a very precarious situation when it comes to us having to speak to our children about drug use. He has put us in a situation now when we trying to talk in relation to our children about, hey, don't use drugs, this, that, the other. Here's the Prime Minister posing with the thing. So if the Prime Minister, who is also the Minister of National Security, the head of cabinet, he's in charge of the Minister of Health, everybody. If the Prime Minister is saying that it's okay, then daddy, mommy, all you can't tell me about that. The PM posing with the thing.
Because we take information from the head. They're not leading us. And listen to me, we still governed by the Constitution. The Constitution no change yet. We still hold, the laws is still uphold in this country still. So why this Prime Minister is doing this? And I talked to a young man today, and he sees nothing wrong with it. Because they don't do little smoking too.
Of course, they'll see nothing wrong. I've told you all before. Okay.
See nothing wrong with it.
Caller, before you go, let me explain something to you here. Do you understand when we say artificial intelligence? A lot of people here say artificial intelligence. Do you fully understand what we mean when we say artificial intelligence?
I might know the whole scenario wrong.
Okay, let me give you let me give you a quick one. Artificial intelligence is basically using various algorithms. Well, let me see if I can simplify it even more. It's using various aspects of a person's interest. For instance, they may say that you are interested in a particular thing, and understanding that from how you utilize your mobile phone, it's collecting information about you. It's collecting the pages that you go to, the things that you like, the YouTube pages you go to, the Facebook pages you go to, things that you stop on. So it builds a profile of you and it says, this is what that person likes. I'm going to send it. For instance, if me and you stand up and we're talking in tongue, and we talk about ABBA, the music group, we talk about ABBA and ABBA's greatest hits. Bet your bottom dollar within the next 24 hours, if you go on YouTube, ABBA is going to show up. If you go on Facebook, something in relation to ABBA is going to show up because your mobile phone is constantly listening and it's taking these things and it's feeding you information. Yes, some people find it strange. They take out the phone and they realize, but I was just talking about that and look it on the phone here. You could see I don't lie. No, the phone is listening. So there are various ways that they use artificial intelligence. It could be used for good things and bad things. This administration is using artificial intelligence. They are going through pages and various things, and they are tailoring their messages to specific audiences using artificial intelligence. Yeah. So when the Prime Minister poses, yes, as one of my friends here, computer-generated data, information. When the Prime Minister poses with a marijuana tree, he is aiming at a specific audience. He's aiming at a specific group. You would be upset. I would be upset. But he ain't bothering with us. He's aiming at those young ones who go say, yeah, boy, look, the Prime Minister had the thing, you know. That is a Prime Minister for me. Look, the man look like he does blaze. He might have on his shades, the eye may be red. That is the kind of thing that he's looking at. He doesn't care about us and how we perceive it. He is targeting a particular audience.
True.
Eskimos don't buy refrigerators, you know. So you can't go and market to them. So he's marketing to a particular audience. He can't market that to us.
They live in the snow already.
Yeah, so understand what is taking place there. All right, my friend?
Yeah, I understand, man.
All right, you
and
enjoy.
I realize that is what he's doing. In other words, as the Bible says, he's catching his spoil before swine. Yeah, man.
You enjoy the rest of the day. All right, thanks.
I wish you all the best in your endeavor, man.
All right,
and
thank you.
For 2024.
Of course.
Let's talking points again.
Yes, indeed. All right, thank you.
And talking points, hold the foot. And I just want to say before I go, NNP, let us keep on holding on the foot and encourage people to get registered because the time is coming. I don't feel it's people on them along.
All right.
For what they do, the Grenadians are getting hot. And many of them are feeling the pinch. Some of them can ball.
My brother, I take it on next call. All right, thank you.
All right, brother, love.
Yeah, I had to kind of cut because I just bring in a call on WhatsApp. Hello, good night.
Hey, Shalom, good evening.
AC Major.
My brother, how are you?
I'm good, man. You go right ahead.
I want to ask you a few questions. Maybe you could help me out. Is there a list of the things that Keith Mitchell sold from Grenada yet?
That he sold? I have no idea. No.
He has been selling and selling out. You know if there's a list available?
Maybe asking the wrong person. We might have to ask the other side. Because we're not the ones making that statement.
Now, I understand that. The reason I say that, I kind of want to know what was achieved from the budget of the last budget. From the last budget, what was achieved of it? What are the programs and projects they had from that last budget?
Well, maybe we might hear during the debate. I don't know because
No, okay. So they presented a budget, and there was support in the last budget. I want to know if that was achieved. That's what I'm kind of curious about.
What I would say, in fairness, is that the budget statement has been made. Now we're going into the debate part of it. So let's hear from the individual ministers how they defend
what was achieved.
What
they did.
Not what was achieved, because we don't know if anything was achieved, so we can't use that word yet. But let me hear what take place, if anything take place.
Okay. Now, if you have a cat that thief, and you give the cat cheese, and the cat go and thief more cheese?
Of course, it get accustomed to cheese.
All right, but you get accustomed to thieving.
Mm-hmm.
So how could you say that you are increasing salaries to prevent the ministers from thieving? They're thieves? Are they thieves? Are you saying that the ministers of government are thieves?
Well, we know one for sure. You know about the rest.
Well, they say who assemble resemble. Show me a man, I'll show you the company. All right. So that is one. The thing about it is, the reason I'm asking these questions is that I hear the government getting high marks for this wonderful budget, and I'm kind of curious as to what was done with the last budget. Have they achieved anything to say that this budget is a good budget and this budget is going to be reflective of the last budget? If this budget is going to be reflective of the last budget, then it means nothing was done and nothing will be done, except that monies will be spent in areas that are non-productive areas. And I heard initially it was going to be $7 million for independence. Now I hear it's going to be $15 million for independence.
Yeah, so additional 7.5 added to the 7.5 that has been allocated already.
And what is the rationale for that?
Boss, me and the Minister of Finance, you know. But here's what, hold on, bro. But I'll tell you this though. My belief is that is money for them to spend on the ground. For instance, and when I say on the ground, in some instances, is the ground insured?
I know.
Because you have,
I understand that.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm saying you have fellas painting black and white all over the place. Ask some of them if they get paid. Because what they're doing is they're getting one person that's telling you, watch, I'll give you X amount of money, get some fellas and pay in that area.
Yeah.
That person, you don't know if the person get $10,000 and they decide to pay in everybody $150. You don't know what they get.
That's right.
But that is how
true.
money is being spread throughout the country right now. That is what they're doing. They're using that to pad the pockets of some of the activists. Yeah, and you'll see more of that coming up over the next few weeks. You'll be seeing more of
They're
that.
hoping to ride on the 50th anniversary of independence to try to sneak in an election. They're thinking about that quite seriously. They want to call a snap election, so they figure with that kind of money, they're going to use government money to promote party. I am also curious as to who is funding the budget for 2024?
Well, I did hear the question asked of the Permanent Secretary this morning about the funding component of the budget. And they did mention that there are various ways that you fund a budget. And they seem to have an issue with the fact that we spoke about one of the areas that was mentioned last year was disposal of assets. But assets were disposed this year. You have, for instance, the doctor quarters in Maran. That has been disposed. You've had, well, it is, well, not necessarily. Let me clarify that. No, because that's actually under the NIS. Yeah, so we don't know if any other things have been disposed of, like shares in something or anything. So they did have an issue with us mentioning that, but they spoke about the fact that government does have money itself, money that's there already, and then the money coming in from taxes and from other things that are coming in. And then the CBI component, again, the money that's coming in from that. You have the tourist season, the money that's coming in from that, and that sort of thing. But is that enough to cover a $1.6 billion budget? I don't know.
Maybe a lot of passports sell by.
Well, what I can tell you is that each week there are new people who were born in various parts of Russia who are becoming Grenadian citizens. Every single week. And it will continue well into January, February, maybe even as far as March of next year and beyond. We will be hearing of Russians who are becoming Grenadian citizens on a weekly basis.
Yep. And it is a question of how long before Grenada is blacklisted and passports are not accepted in countries. That has to be the next thing that is going to be happening. I've noticed the vandalism of our country. That is all I can call it. These are not government ministers. This is not an operating government. This is a bunch of vandals who continue to vandalize our country. And to the NDC die-hard who believe all your party is doing such a good thing, or you need to take a good look at all yourself. Because Grenada doesn't belong to any one person, and no one person has the complete plan for making Grenada go forward. And the NDC continues to push that kind of nonsense, that rhetoric, as if they're good, as if the new National Party administration has not done anything all you seem to forget the cruise ship terminal, the bus terminals around the country. It seems like you all forgot that Grenada suffered 2 hurricanes and came back to host World Cup in Cricket World Cup 2007. It seems you all forgot all the benefits that were given to the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. It seems like you Grenadians have forgotten that it was the NNP that secured the houses for low-income earners. Yet you have people who are living in the United States now bidding on how much they're going to pay for a house because Grenadians, it is too good for Grenadians. Shalon, we are going to be celebrating 50 years as a nation that has gained its political independence from Britain. We are yet to free ourselves from these wannabe politicians who are only there to fill the pocket and continue to bring hardship on the backs of the poor working class Grenadians. Have a good evening, my brother. I don't know when I'll talk to you again, but be good.
All right, I hope it's before the Christmas. All right, my bro.
I hope so.
All right, thank you. 440-7377. Give us a call. Yeah, I know somebody was trying to call me on the WhatsApp. Let me see if I get back that person that was trying to reach me on the WhatsApp. All right, and meanwhile, folks, the number is 440-7377. I did get the person who was trying to call me. Go right ahead, caller.
Okay, good night, everyone.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to one question I want to ask you before I go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Do you look at movies?
At what?
Do you look at movies?
Oh, yes, quite a lot. Yeah.
Okay, there is an instrument, so to speak, in movies that is called foreshadowing. And foreshadowing is a narrative device in which the storyteller gives you an advance hint of what is to come later in the story. Now, foreshadowing often appears at the beginning of a story, and it helps develop or subvert the audience expectations about upcoming events. 2 examples. There was a Christian movie a long time ago where the person who played the Antichrist in the movie wanted to frame someone, right? But so they did have video production of them saying something because they wanted to frame them in the court. But of course, the person did not say that. And we said, how that could happen, how you could have different voices coming from somebody. But you've seen what's going on now with AI. And then when we used to watch Knight Rider in the 80s, we used to say, well, how a car could talk, how a car could drive itself.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have cars that could park itself, that could drive itself on the road. And it's like we saw it, we said it couldn't happen, but now when it happened, we just get so accustomed to it. And I think you know where I'm coming from with that.
Of course.
Case in point, certain picture. Later.
All right, bro. Thank you. Do we have a call online? Hello, good night.
Mr. Scott, good night.
Hi, good night, sir.
How do you do?
Hey, I'm good.
Okay, well, I was taken in the press conference today because I like to hear it from the horse's mouth. I want to begin my comments on the Samoa agreement. I heard the Minister of Legal Affairs put a disclaimer when she was asked by a reporter whether, as the chief legal advisor to the government of Grenada, if she advised the government on the agreement, and she said she did not have to because Grenada had already initialed the agreement. So the previous attorneys general had vetted it, so she had no cause to advise on it. And I found it very interesting because everything else they have to take it apart, but this one they decided not to, and it sort of confirmed to me that there is a whole sort of melee around this agreement. The token minister did claim that there were some issues. Prime Minister said there were some issues, but the legal advisor is saying, as far as concerned, there were no issues. I seem to recall that initially is not signing. I could be wrong.
Yeah, that acknowledges that you've received. That it acknowledges you've received.
and you can also initial as seen.
Yeah.
All right. 2 years later, you would not expect there might be some adjustments, and there have been changes. There have been changes to the agreement. But that being said, it's a clear case where even the Minister of Legal Affairs did not peruse the document. I want to move to the minimum wage.
Before you go, so it means therefore, because I listened to her as well, and I could bring up the clip, but I'll bring it up a little later. So it means therefore that the Prime Minister has admitted he didn't read it. The Minister of Legal Affairs, who is government's chief legal advisor, is giving the impression that, well, I didn't read it either. It didn't come to me. It didn't have to come to me.
Right.
Yeah, and then you have the Minister of Foreign Affairs, who is basically saying that ambassador went and signed without any permission.
Oh, we can deduce that. We can deduce that. They're talking about this time lapse, and that reminds me of Star Wars, yeah? With this,
From Knight Rider, with the last caller to Star Wars with you.
With this time lapse. Anyway.
But minimum wage, yeah, go right ahead.
Minimum wage. There are two categories of workers and employers that I have some serious concern over. The first one are the caregivers, and not so much the workers, but the employers of caregivers. We have a number of senior citizens' homes in Grenada that employ caregivers. The minimum wage then was $7. Maybe they were getting $800 or $900. I don't think they were getting $7. That has gone up to $1,400. Now, I do not know if we're seeing the repercussions. I'm not against the minimum wage. I want to make it clear. But the same way they did incremental increases for certain categories, they could have done the same. Because here's what's going to happen, Sheldon. There are people who are working, they have an elderly parent, and they're paying somebody to look after their parent when they go to work. Right? $800, $900. Maybe that's what they've been paid. Now they have to pay $14. Right? The homes, including government homes, have to pay $14. So don't be surprised if the cost of being in those homes would go up, right? I would not be surprised if people who have their relatives in those homes would have to pay an additional amount, maybe from February or March, because Sheldon, some people have not yet realized, internalized this whole issue of minimum wage. Yeah? The second category, and I'll make a comment there, are the sanitation workers. I was chairman of Solid Waste for about 5 years. I was involved in the negotiation of contracts for the haulers and the street cleaners. When you submit your bid, you put in the amount for supplies, labor, etc. Usually, that contract is between 3 and 5 years. I don't know how much it is right now, but let's say it's 3. So you have submitted a contract where your sanitation worker, maybe was paid $80 or $75 per day. Now it has gone to $108, right? I did a quick calculation. Those guys will be earning about $2,600 a month. I don't have a problem with that.
No, that's nice.
That's good. But I took the liberty of calling one of the haulers, and I said to him, I said, have you recalculated your contract numbers? He said, well, no, I've not done that yet. I said, are you aware that you have to start paying your workers $108 per day from end of January? He said, January? I said, yes, it's January. I said, have you gone back to Solid Waste to ask them when you can submit your revised numbers? Because that's what's going to happen. You see, the government of Grenada, Solid Waste, is under the statutory corporation, they would be asked to cough up more money for the contractors, because you cannot expect somebody who has a street cleaning contract to pay $108 when in their budget it was $75 or $80. So they have to be. Fortunately, when we did the contract document for the agreement, there's a clause that gives the haulers the right to go back to renegotiate. So I guess that will be happening. All right. Now, he asked me a question. He said, so those workers who have short shifts, so like on Sunday they might work for 3 hours or 4 hours, do I have to pay them $180? I said, well, I don't. You have to work that out. The other thing, Sheldon, is that there are people who get time and a half and double time. Just stretch your mind for those people in this category of where the wages have almost doubled. Just look at where the wage bill is going to go. All right? Like I said, I have no issue about minimum wage, but in those two categories, in particular, the caregivers one, I think that should be staggered.
Well, I think it was
100%
measured.
increase, I think it's drastic.
But if I remember correctly, towards the very end of the press conference, it was mentioned that when it comes to the caregivers, that it would be incremental, part this year, I believe, and part next year in January. Not next year, the year after, 2025.
Was it caregivers?
Yeah, I think it was under the caregivers. I'll verify, because I'd have to listen over that part to be sure, because they did mention one of them being staggered.
I heard a category being staggered, but it's a new category. I seem to recall it's a new category that they added. Caregivers was there in the original one. When I say
Maybe
original,
the call center workers. Maybe the call center workers.
They published a schedule, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they had a consultation after the schedule was published.
Mm-hmm.
And a question was asked whether any new categories were added or removed after that last consultation. And that's when I think I heard the minister saying that they did add additional categories, and she named one that would be staggered. I'm not sure it's caregivers. I probably have to go back and listen. But you see, what is going to happen is that we'll have a surge in unemployment from January. Will there be a surge in unemployment because the Indian stores or the department stores that have 5 people working there, it might be reduced to 3. I understand there's a particular store in St. John that have already started laying off the workers because they're saying there's no way we can pay this higher wage and keep all our staff. So it's a good thing. But at the same time, I think we have to look at the role of economic effects on what is done. So good minimum wage move, but it will be a balance. The government has to work the calculations because you know that the Bush is supposed to get. How much are they getting currently?
I have no idea on the exact figure.
They have to go get a minimum of $60.
For something, I think.
You mean for a week or for a fortnight?
For a fortnight.
But I don't know much. If when I come from the phone, I'll have to pull my calculator and calculate it. But their minimum daily is 60, according to the new category. So it will affect them.
Way past that, yeah.
Last thing, Sheldon. The minister was trying to implore private employers to not use the minimum wage as an excuse not to pay people who are qualified. All right? So if, for example, the minimum wage is $1,500 and somebody has maybe an associate degree in a job, you don't have to pay them 15, you can probably pay them 18. But my mind is going towards the Imani, right? So there are Imanis who are teachers, okay? They are teaching, and they're getting Imani pay. I'm wondering if the minister's admonition would also go to government. Because if you know the person is doing the job, right, don't hide behind the minimum wage, because I I don't know if it was a wise thing to put Imanis under the minimum wage. Yeah? Because
what I would tell you is
but
this though.
let me just say it quickly. Let me tell you why. Because when you put them under the minimum wage, you're exposing yourself. If they were not under the minimum wage, you could have negotiated how much you have to pay them.
Mm-hmm.
When you put them under the minimum wage category, you're saying that's the least we should pay you. But we have to recognize the work that you do. So a teacher, for example, maybe a qualified a teacher in that category, if they were not under the Imani category, would have been getting maybe 23, especially those people that associate degrees, whatever, right? $2,400 a month. You're paying them 15 because that's the minimum wage. The advice that the minister gave is that you should not use the minimum wage to underpay anybody. So I'm saying I hope she's taking the advice that she's given to, because if it was directed to private employers, not government employers, as government as an employer. So we want to see how that plays out, because sooner rather than later, I'm prophetic now. Imanis will start talking among themselves and say we should speak with one voice. Because
okay, so you're giving some foreshadowing. That's the word for tonight, foreshadowing.
Yes, because you see, and I'm going back to teachers again. They do exactly what a teacher who has been employed as a teacher does. Exactly the same thing. But the pay is so far apart. Well, I could understand when they were Imanis, but now, anyway, let me go there, because I'd have rolled into what you don't want me to talk about.
Yeah, we ain't going into that.
Yeah, I ain't going there. Right. So yes, it's interesting. There's some more agreement. Again, the minister exposed the government that they're going through the motions. In fact, one other thing she said, which I read the agreement, right? And the word shall is different. Let me rephrase it. Shall is compulsory.
Yeah.
Right? She's giving the impression that it's optional.
No, it's not. When they say
it's
shall.
It's not optional. And
when
she's
they say
also
shall,
saying
it's
that
not. And the shall is there 1,800 and something times, I think it is in that document.
Right. And she's saying until the laws in a country is changed, then they don't have to do what the agreement says. Now, I also had a pick up of a constitution, and some of the things in that agreement runs contrary to our constitution. That's another matter altogether. But did anybody put the Samoa agreement alongside our constitution and see what is inconsistent? So you're running ahead and sign, whoever initial, but you're signing without even checking your master legislation to see whether what you're signing is in sync with it. But we'll talk about that another time.
All right,
have a good night, sir.
All right, have a good one. 440-7377, and let me try to reach back some of the people who were trying to reach me on the WhatsApp. You know me already, so let me try and see if I can get back some of the people who were trying to reach us on the WhatsApp. In the interim, 440-7377. Are you see the new $2 note yet? Yeah, there's a new, the ECCB, the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank. They've actually released a new dollar note, to celebrate their 40th anniversary. It's a $2 note. So in case you see it, it's not fake. It's a real note. We have a call online. Good night. Hello.
Oh, I'm just going to be quick. Very, very quick.
No, you could go right ahead, man. Take your time.
No. I don't take no time. Listen. Who is the high priest of parliament? Isn't the prime minister? Isn't he the head?
Well, he's not necessarily the head. The man in charge there is the speaker.
Okay.
While the session is going on, the person in charge who is supposed to keep order and make decisions on if people have a problem or so on is the speaker.
But in the elective government, head of the cabinet.
Yes, the prime minister.
Who is the high priest?
The prime minister.
Okay. For days I've been seeing this picture posted with the man with the marijuana in his hand. Is that the high priest?
Yeah, that's the Prime
The
Minister.
Prime Minister?
Let me put
Okay.
it in local language. Is he daddy?
Okay. I'm finishing now. You remember there was a song way back. I'm an old man. If the priest could play Who Is Me?
Mm-hmm.
So I called because I heard you talk about parents like you who are in a precarious situation.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm from a large family, and I have a lot of younger people. So when they're looking at the priest posing, if he could play, what the younger ones gonna say? Who is me?
Mm-hmm.
Have a blessed night.
All right, thank you. 440-7377. Those are the numbers for you to call and get onto the inside. And 347-329-3101. Folks, remember, because I realize all of a sudden, the government seems to be very, very, very interested in ensuring that the Prime Minister speaks right after Dr. Mitchell tomorrow. Well, me ain't gonna be around for that, so I tell you all the truth. I won't be there when he's speaking. All right? Yeah, that's not disrespect. I've got other things to do. Yeah, so I definitely will not be there when he's speaking. We've got a call online. Good night.
Hey, Sheldon, good night.
Hi, good night. Yes, go right ahead, man.
I don't know to say anything much. What I would like to say.
Hello? Hello?
Opposition leader.
You dropped off there. If you're using you're using a Bluetooth.
No.
Oh well, go right ahead. We're hearing you now, but it kind of cut in. I don't know if it's the internet connection.
I'm using the speaker. Yeah, the breeze kind of heavy to the end to one end. To
But you're good now. You're good. You're good now. You're good wherever you are, however you are now. You're good now. Go ahead.
Okay. Just wanted to say to them, pound the table whenever.
Wow, you cut off again.
Vital points to send the table. If you can pound it hard, walk with a hammer and pound. You see, just as how them guys on the other side, they pound in the table. They pound the table each time the Minister for Finance says eating. They pound the table. So I want the opposition leader, the opposition MPs, to pound the table. Because what I listened Monday, I wouldn't go into detail of it, but what I listened Monday, it was not a bad political speech, a political address. That is what it was. I would not say that was a budget. It was a political address. That's all I will have to say on that. But I will wait until after the opposition leader unraveled the political address, and then we may go deep into, we may help go deep in. So I will have to say tonight, the opposition MP, pound the table. Let it be a fiery one. Let it be an exciting one. Yeah? Pound the table with some vigor and some passion.
Okay, brother, we got the point. Pound the table. Later. Yeah, but I think you're speaking to the choir. I think they know that. Yeah, but maybe hearing you say they might want to do it a little more. You understand? Yeah, let's see if we can find another one of the people that have been trying to get through on the WhatsApp. Let's see if we get them. All right. And folks, in the interim, 440-7377. I think we've got the WhatsApp caller that was attempting to call. Hello, good night.
Yeah, hello, good night. Sheldon?
Yes, sir.
What? Yesterday I have a counter. You could remember you used to see Wazy religious leaders and things have the sign on the paper there.
Yeah.
Yesterday I was on walk and right where I go, a pastor was there. So I decided, well, I hold one now to talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
So I say, let me ask you that now. What you think about that paper that the government signed it. You know what the man told and tell me? The man told and tell me. He said, if you is a leader of a country and you have to sign a paper and you have a lot of benefit in the paper, a lot of benefit for your country, would you sign it? Watch. When I hear the man say that, I stop, I watch him. I say, Pastor, I say, you really know what you're saying? I say, you is a religious leader, you saying that? I say, well, we done in Grenada. So I turn around and tell him, I say, if two men come by you and they ask you to marry them, will you marry them? He watching me. I say, will you marry them? No, the man can answer me. Sheldon, I tell you, that's the reason why. I don't know what this man do to this religious people and them. I don't know what he do to them, but he had them tied up in a kind of, because I can understand how a man could just say, like, is thou said the Lord, what the Bible say. So he going against what the Bible say. Sheldon, that's frightening. And I ask him for a reason, you know, to hear how the man thinking. So that's the reason why a lot of them do come out and speak.
Mm-hmm.
That's frightening.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's frightening, Sheldon. When I hear the man, I tell her, pause, you know. Because I looking to hear the man say, oh, against this thing. Here you see, you know, the church speaking out. I say, where the church speaking out? I say, I ain't hearing nothing. I say, wait, behind closed doors they're talking? He said, no matter what you do, if it had to happen, it go happen. I say, we need to speak out. We need to speak out. When I hear that man say that, Sheldon, I say, yes. I say yes. I say Christianity and I am a real challenging truth in Grenada. You know? So I say I must call you and tell you about that.
Of course.
So that's the reason why a lot of them do speaking out. You understand? Because he had them tangled. I don't know what a man do to these people and them.
A Jamwara song in it, he say when you play with Puppy, Puppy going to lick your mouth, but when you play with Big Dog, they're going to bite you, eh? All right.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. So
okay,
thank
brother.
you very much.
Thank you.
Nice.
Yes, indeed. When you play with Puppy, Puppy going to lick your mouth. And when you play with Big Dog, Big Dog going to bite you. All right? 440-7377. That's 440-7377. That is the number for you to call and get onto the inside. And I believe I have a caller on the WhatsApp. Hello, good night.
Sheldon, good night.
Good night, my dear.
Sheldon, I didn't intend to call tonight, eh?
Mm-hmm.
But I just listened to the last caller there.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in conversation with somebody. And I was saying to the person, there's a call for the religious leaders to come out and say something as it relates to the signing of the Samoa Agreement and what would the impact be on Grenada. As I tell the person, you would not find the church leaders.
Hello?
Because if they do it, yes, you're not hearing me?
No, I'm hearing you now. Go ahead, yeah.
Right. I said you would not hear the church leaders coming out and say anything. Because if they do, it would affect the collection. It would affect what a monetary contribution to the church would be. You heard the fella say it.
Mm-hmm.
The pastor said that if you're getting benefit from a document, what would you do? He asked him, if two men come and ask you to perform a marriage certificate, marriage ceremony for them, what would you do? He don't answer. He couldn't answer. He couldn't answer. And he would not answer because to do this marriage, a lot of big money are being paid. So he wouldn't answer. So for the pastors and them to come out and say anything now, that would interfere in the church collection, and they don't want that. They don't want that, children. And that is why we would not hear from them. They don't want the church collection be interfered with. So the big money they get in, the big money that Grenada will be getting from signing that agreement, They know that they're going to benefit out of it. So you think they're going to come out and talk? You think they're going to come out and say anything? They wouldn't say anything. They wouldn't say anything. They wouldn't say anything. But you know what? It have pastors, church leaders, and who have children and grandchildren going to school. I want to know what their response would be when one day the grandchild or the granddaughter or the son or the daughter come home and tell them, I no longer a girl, I no longer a boy, I don't feel I'm a boy, I don't feel I'm a girl, to hear what the response would be like. They are church ministers. Sheldon, just a few minutes ago, let me give her enough time to wrap up. Anything. Okay, good.
All right, my friend. Let me say this, though. While that is a major concern in relation to this issue, and I understand, but you know, the entire thing started off outside of what's in the document itself, which is an entire discussion on its own. What's in the document is a whole discussion on its own. But this thing started off with a lie by both the Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs. It started off with a lie. And I think that's what a lot of us need to understand. We, the Grenadian people, were told a lie. In any democracy, any serious, real democracy, in a serious administration, there are consequences for lying. Yeah? You can't stand up in front of the Senate in the US and lie. They kick you out. Yeah, there are consequences. You can't lie in any parliament throughout the region that's a serious parliament. You find a member lying, even if they are not doing it in the parliament, but in their capacity as a minister, giving a response that they are misleading the Grenadian people in relation to an issue. There ought to be consequences. But instead of that, they are attempting to obfuscate the issue, confuse you as much in relation to it as possible, because come on, here it is. We have a government that has been in office now for nearly 18, 19 months or something like that. They've been in office. They are signing a document. The Prime Minister, who is the head of cabinet, as we mentioned earlier, yeah, who is the head of cabinet, the head of government, did not read the document. Yeah? A document that ought to have been discussed in cabinet, but it seems from what we're hearing now, like this document maybe never reached cabinet either, because the Minister of Legal Affairs sits in cabinet. The Prime Minister sits in cabinet, and both of them are feigning ignorance in relation to the contents of said document. Let me put that in English language. Both of them saying they don't know what's inside it. Yeah? At the same time, we have the minister talking about mishap and taking full responsibility. We are still waiting to hear his resignation, and we are still waiting to hear who else going home. The issue of the gender stuff and so on that's in the document, and the other stuff that's in the document, that's one issue. That's an issue by itself for a separate discussion. If the churches don't want to do it, they want to play hypocritical, well, maybe some of them have real interest in officiating over same-sex marriages, and so they may be fine. Well, if a normal wedding you had to pay 800, maybe a same-sex might decide to go pay 8,000. You never know. Maybe that might be something that they're willing to say, well, okay, we go take the money and use it for the Lord's work. I don't know. But if they don't want to talk about that, that's one thing. But this whole thing, the whole confusion, the whole thing started not just with what the bishop said in Trinidad and what is being said in St. Lucia and Jamaica. It started with the fact that two parliamentarians sat there, looked into the camera, watched the Grenadian people, and lied for us. That's where the whole thing started. Oops, we lost that call. That's where the whole problem has started, you know, with a lie. Yeah? And don't lose track of that, because they're continuing to lie. Yeah? It is becoming a trait, like, oh my goodness. Folks, let's see. think I have a caller coming in on the WhatsApp. Let me try to lock in the WhatsApp
Hey,
call.
Sheldon.
Hi, good night.
Hey, good night, good night, good night. That caller you had before, they kind of tickle me, and I want him to know and and for the people of Grenada to know and all the listening public, not everybody that stand up in the pulpit and pick up a Bible is a servant of God. There are many antichrists, and not all who say, Lord, Lord, shall enter into his kingdom. He'll say, depart from me, I know you not. And you cannot compromise the word of God with the things of the world. So all I encourage him is to pray and let those things be revealed and stand strong, stand firm. Nothing new under the sun. All right, have a great night.
Okay, thank you very much, my brother.
Grenada in prayer.
All right,
All right, and
wonderful.
tomorrow we'll be on target. All right.
Of course. And we have another call on line. Hello, good night.
Yeah, good night, Sheldon.
Hey, how are you doing?
Good, brother, thank God.
All right, you
know,
go right
just,
ahead.
As we stand on the eve of the funeral of Brother Spaceman, you know, I've heard a story of how honest he was, you know, and maybe you as a former parliamentarian may be able to verify, not the exact thing I'm going to say, but they said like he was the kind of minister of parliamentarian who went, if he has to do official travel, and I think sometimes the government allots you spending money or whatever travel expenses for personal use. And I've heard the story that if he doesn't use all of the money allotted to him, he gives an account, of course, and returns whatever is was allotted that he didn't spend. And I think that is so commendable. And I mean, a real tribute to the memory of the man who we're saying farewell to. And I just wanted to raise that, you know, in the context of what's happening now with the increase in salary and the Prime Minister's justification that, you know, it's to avoid corruption and all of that. And a caller earlier alluded to the fact that, you know, that in no way would stop them from wanting more, stealing more, being corrupt, you know. Because to me, the more money somebody has, and you can see it with maybe drug cartel people and greedy politicians, is the more they swindle, lie, thief, and do sort of things. So I say that is true about Mr. Spaceman. You know, we have really lost a man who has really given good example for politicians now and to come. You know, I want to really commend that to his memory, and really thank God that the story is true, that we had such a politician in our midst, you know. And I just want to, you know, listen to the budget presentation by the Minister of Finance and the people who are, you know, giving kudos and things. You know, it's just so laughable. I followed the budget of last year, and I remember throughout the budget, Sheldon, there were mention of this project starting in January, by the first half of next year, by the first quarter of next year. And from my reading and looking around, I remember the Prime Minister make big mention of the Woodlands Road, you know, Woodlands main road there, you know, and what would be done and all of that. Well, they made a fuss of stopping heavy vehicles traveling there, and that was as much as was done to that road. And so many other projects, and so that they boasted that will be coming on stream in first half of next year, January. And I think I just haven't had the time to go through the budget presentation of last year to count how many times things were said would start next year, start in January, start in the first quarter, and nothing. So the people are boasting and beating their chests that this is one of the the best budget ever. I have no hope. I have no expectation that anything would be different. My concern is how sustainable. Let's just give them the benefit of the doubt that they're able to achieve maybe half of what they set out in the budget. How sustainable with the additional expenses and so that they have introduced, how sustainable that would be in light of how fragile our world is, you know, with the war in the Middle East and elsewhere, and, you know, just a collapse in, you know, in the world economy, and maybe a higher spike in oil prices and things, and, you know, with what is going to happen locally here with the local economy as it is. I mean, I don't know where they're talking about this minimum wage and hike and things. Sheldon, I don't. You just have to take a walk around St. George's and look at the state of businesses. People are just sitting there, just languishing, twiddling their thumbs, and nothing is happening. So I'm wondering, where are we generating that much money to sustain in terms of government getting so much revenue increases, to sustain all of these grandiose projects and projections that the government has? And I'm just saying this government, for all the mistakes and mishaps and all that's going on, this government is totally a comedy of errors government. I don't think they are a government, they are a comedy of errors that's running this country. And I'm so disappointed in them. I pray God, these people and so others to just pack themselves and go. Honestly, it is really disturbing, really frustrating, and becoming almost oppressive living under this government, I'm telling you. So this is my contribution, and I just want to wish you the very best, and God help us in this country.
Of course. All right, thank you. All right, 440, could probably take about one or two more calls. Yeah, two people telling me the clip that I was playing with the Prime Minister speaking about the police. You know, if I'm wrong, I'd say I'm wrong, right? Yeah, that I was saying that he's saying robbing, but he was saying rewarding. So it's not that he was saying that you're robbing the police, but he was saying that you're rewarding the police by giving them a token. So you're rewarding the police by giving them a token 1 month's salary. All right? Not robbing, rewarding. You know me. If I'm wrong, I say I'm wrong. Right? Maybe I need to change headphones. Yeah. Anybody coming down? Yeah, bring down a headphone, man. Yeah, anybody? Yeah, still looking for somebody up there, to come down with something for me. We have a caller online. Good night.
Sheldon, I just called back to
Is your birthday?
Ask you to let my customers know I will not be in the liquor place tomorrow on the terminal.
Yes.
Because I'm going to Parliament. Because a lot of people just bring stuff for me.
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody's listening, I have some of my customers. I will not be there tomorrow morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I have corn flour and I have asham, but I will not be there tomorrow morning on the terminal. I'll be maybe in the evening time. Because after I leave the Parliament, I will pass and sit down there. But I will not be there in the morning time. And yes, and this thing with the marijuana and the Prime Minister, well, I don't know, he's not looking good. Because up to today, some children were speaking about, because they just come to buy a cigarette and I'll tell them I'm not selling them. And you know what one of the little boys tell me? He said, Miss Camille, you don't see the Prime Minister have ganja in the yard, So it's so sad. And this ganja thing with Mr. Mitchell, Dick Mitchell, they should catch them Rasta men. All you have to know that. They should catch them Rasta men. Them Rasta man go like that. He needs support. So that's why he posing with ganja. He won't smoke marijuana. He won't smoke the ganja. That's just to get them master, but he won't catch all of them. Some.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
No, Rastas operated on a different level, man. He could try. He could try. He could try, but he can't hold it.
True Rastafarian will not buy that.
No, he can't hold it.
He won't smoke ganja. I bet it was me when he have a plant by my house. And I take a picture and post it on the social media. Then he come from me backside already. You don't see what's going on in Grenada, what? You see what's going on in Grenada? Boy, God, that's what we vote for in this country. I ain't lying, boy. It's not nice at all. It's not nice. It's not nice. It's not healthy for the young people. So I don't know what Mr. Dave, that's the guy in the Ministry of Education. Mr. Dave just going to speak to the young people in the different schools about the jobs. You understand? So I don't know what you going to do now. Yeah. Anyhow, you good night. I will not be there tomorrow morning.
All right,
I'll be there on Friday. And Friday. Good night, Grenada.
Friday, God's willing. Okay, Cammy.
Yes, God's willing.
Yes, indeed, folks. Right, I think that's about all the calls we might be able to take for tonight. Yeah, but I'll say a couple minutes. Now, folks, I realize, and I've been sent some stuff over the past few minutes, that the government is now promoting the fact that the Prime Minister is going to speak tomorrow. Now, initially, there was only supposed to be one presenter tomorrow. Dr. The Right Honorable Keith Mitchell was supposed to be the only presenter tomorrow. Considering the time frame, if you're starting at 9 and you get through your various formalities and he starts, that he's going to be finishing somewhere around after 11 after 11. Yeah? Which means that you have tributes being started for the late spaceman Mitchell around 12. Yeah? So it means that Dr. Mitchell has to immediately leave and go, as well as the other parliamentarians on the NNP side will leave and go. And if that's when the Prime Minister decides he wants to talk, when it's not that anybody walk out on him, but we have more important things to do than to listen to his nonsense, then so be it. Yeah, but I see them trying to promote using GIS and the Prime Minister's office and everything, trying to promote that the Prime Minister is talking tomorrow and trying to push their narrative. Just remember, pay particular attention to Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell tomorrow. Class will be in session at 9 in the forenoon. The bell will ring and school start. Yeah? If disagreeable children want to misbehave and the principal want to let them run rampant, principal being the speaker, then the Ministry of Education had to deal with the principal when the time comes. Yeah? But in the interim, when the teacher is delivering his message, it is incumbent on all of us that can be there to be there. You may not see me physically in front and so, because I've got to ensure that the stream is done, so you may not see me out in front and different things like that. But believe me, I will be organizing. Yeah? And when it comes to a funeral tomorrow, I'll be there, but I'll be there late. I ain't going to make it early. I'll be there late. All right? Definitely, but I will be there. Because I know Martin, up there in River Sally, I know you and the River Sally crew, all ain't go, forgive me if I don't come up. Yeah, I know. I'll go try my best, Papa. Right? Nice. So, folks, we're heading out to Parliament tomorrow. All of you in the town of St. George, in South St. George South, East St. George Northeast, all of you in the town, all of you from St. John that can make it, St. Patrick, all of you, well, I know St. Patrick people, you're kind of focusing, but if you could come down and then from there, is motorcade, we're going up the road. All right, those of you on the East Coast, in St. Andrew, in St. David, wherever you are, St. Mark, we're heading to Parliament tomorrow, and then we're heading up. We might make a motorcade, all the bus and all the car and everything, and we're heading up to the funeral. We're heading up to put down Brother Spaceman Mitchell. All right, folks? So that's all the time we have for Talking Points tonight. It's been wonderful being with you here tonight, and of course, we will endeavor, even though I'm going to feel that there are no talking points tonight, and I know all you're waiting. So I will ensure that I am here and here on time so that we can have talking points tomorrow night. But also be aware that we shall be having, God's willing, talking points this Friday as well. Remember, I did promise that this Friday we're going to have talking points. We will be going in depth into the budget. I have spoken to both Brother Oliver Joseph and Brother Gregory Bowen to be on with me. So it's going to be a serious discussion in relation to budget 2024, and we will be taking your calls and different things and your questions, your queries and stuff like that. So Friday night, remember, it's going to be different. We're not only going to have one guest, we're going to have two guests on with us. And to the individuals that ensure that we have the capability for that to happen, we thank you so very much. All right, so that's all the time we have for Talking Points tonight. It's been wonderful. And one more thing before I go, just one more aside before I go. Eh? Nice, right, good. One more thing before I go. Remember the Prime Minister say contract work is illegal, eh? I heard talking about putting all the money on contract. Folks, as I said, that's all the time we have for tonight. I am out.